front row. 80, 75. Anybody above 75? I may not give this talk today. 70. Anyone above 70? It's fine. What number are we at? What count are we at? 70. 65. So everybody is still in active service at DaySpring. So my AI definition was correct then. That we are young at heart. So let me hold on before I call my own age. So when I saw the invitation, we're talking about it's Family Week here, and I hope it's Family Week everywhere. And we're talking about how to live our lives well. Where is my sister Kehinde? I laughed when I saw it. I said, it's DaySpring that should be teaching me that one. I don't know what I can teach you about your topic. So I've taken the liberty to key in a little bit into what your topic is, but key into family in my talk. For once, I have 3 DaySpring. I have 3 PowerPoint presentations that I would have loved to do. And it's the first time anybody is giving me 20 minutes to give a talk. One topic can take 1 hour. And up until this moment, or until a few minutes ago, I wasn't even sure which one I should start with. So, you are springing a lot of energy into me, and I'm going to try. But the good thing with these things is that it brings life. I've found out that I should stop underestimating the impact of these shared times. It's such a beautiful thing when a 16-year-old comes up to my office and says, oh, I was somewhere at church and you came and you said this and you said that. And because of that, they are not just able to make a decision that would prevent things like drug abuse and, bad health choices, but they're able to become an influence among their peers. So don't disregard the power of these, in quote, non-spiritual, but still life-giving talks that you encourage us to do, and I'm deeply grateful to have been called here. So I'm going to try to talk about how you should keep your heart healthy, your physical heart. But honestly, there are so many allegories between science and the spiritual, and it's not a surprise if the WHO tells you that health is not just about physical health, but it's also about our mental, spiritual, social health as well. And dare I add, political health. I hope they are here today, because I'm coming for them. All right. So, some people have their heart on the right side. I don't know if there's anybody here who has their heart on the right. It says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Most people would run up and say, oh, I think I have heart pain if they have chest pain in the center or on the left. But we do have people who have their heart on the right side, and that's just one of the wonders of nature, that God makes us, and everything works beautifully. Everything works beautifully. Sometimes when we try to bend things, that is when we may have issues with the system working. What's our life expectancy like? It's still in the 50s, maybe creeping up a little bit. What's our World Bank loan profile like? It's higher, I'm sure, than Afghanistan, and yet they live longer than us. The truth is that Afghanistan, for so many years, has had a higher life expectancy. That means that when a child is born, the prediction of how long, averagely, people live in that environment. In some countries, like our home country, Canada, they've been in the 80s, above 80s. Japan, yes. We eat with shovel, they eat with sticks. They live so much longer. And here we are doing the late 50s. At some point, early 50s, and now late 50s. And our women seem to live longer than men. Don't ask me what Omugo has to do with that. Because I'm not sure the women are generally happier, But women do live longer in our environment. Look at Cameroon, our next door neighbor. They've been above 60 for over 10 years. Life expectancy. 60 is not even a life expectancy point to celebrate in that way, but we're not doing that well. And my deepest feeling is that it is because we are losing or we have lost our sense of community. Not because we don't have good doctors, not because we have a bad healthcare. I mean, how much worse does healthcare system get than where there is war? But when we lose community, then it's okay to take a loan and then get that loan to my village where I buy a lot of Cadillacs and I don't build the roads that the children will work. That's a loss of community. Where it's me. It's a loss of community. Sometimes people come in and you do their heart test and they look fine, but they have heart symptoms and you just want to run away. If I eat and my neighbor doesn't eat, that's a loss of community. If I eat too much and my great-grandchildren's food is already secured and my enemy does not have to eat, that's a loss of community. Your life expectancy is going to go down. So even though Sundays and Fridays are our busiest days, what we do from Mondays to Thursday, maybe Friday morning, is killing us as a nation. And we need to stop and think. The Bible says that the whole of creation waits for the manifestation of the sons of God. Don't put us down on Twitter. I brought my emergency 3 hours. I want not say one bad gun. We're all victims. We cannot cure our health problems in the hospital. Those who have good health systems did not do it at the bedside. The bedside is the end stage. It's the end stage. So this life expectancy is something that I keep putting in so many presentations because it looks like it's not part of it, but that's the core of it. Because everything else springs from that, from how much value a life is in our system. You can do yours, but there are some things you're going to see that are out of your power, out of my power, but together we can do it. And wherever day arrives, light breaks through. The darkness that we have in this country is spiritual. It's not medical. Yeah. Thank you. Look at Liberia. Much better. Congo. Much, much better. Congo. Google Congo. See what's happening. And they tell us our mortality rates are rising. The newborn are dying. The first 28 days is called the neonatal period. That period, or that group, is a very vulnerable group. Most women having their children are young or younger. Most are younger. They've not yet attained, money, career, all that. They themselves are, in quotes, social babies. So we need to carry them as a society for them to be able to carry the babies in the first 28 days. Attention, mother-in-laws, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to government. I'm talking to community. I'm talking to church. You have a free food service that anybody can just walk into anonymously. Do we have that? Are we saying church can't do that? Food alone. If a baby is born underweight, the chances that the kidneys will be, less dense in functional units is high. And those people get high blood pressure later in adult life, earlier and more stubbornly than the rest of us. So when you have that patient who walks into your clinic, great big professor, doctor, you know everything in medicine, you give a person medication for blood pressure, and at 2 months, he's still disgracing you. The BP is not shifting. It's not always about what you've done. It's about how society has staffed that great big billionaire you are seeing today when his mother was pregnant and had poor nutrition. Poor nutrition can be in size and in quality, because there are some people that they have craving. They only eat donuts, pancake, Chapman. Which one? God bless you. Teenagers, I hope they are here for me. They usually have the list. That also is a problem. Malaria is still a problem. It may not kill us very quickly, but it causes a lot of loss of valuable time. It costs a lot of money put together. And believe it or not, it does kill. For those that can't afford, the treatments are in the thousands now. To get a good malaria treatment, take some money. Diarrhea. This is the beginning of the rainy season. We have GRAs that don't have drainages. Talk less of general population. No drainage. And I remember my shock, 2006. I'm driving from Yano Mortuary heading to Idiaba. And the rain is starting. This heavy rain that you'll be seeing it coming. You'll be hearing the vibration. Then you turn and you see it. Teenage church, have you seen that thing before? I can't see them very clearly from here. Oh, they are in church. I wish they are here. So, the rain is coming, and I'm seeing it. And you know what happens? I just see a stampede. Everybody's running out of stores. What are they doing? Guess. God bless you, ma. Mommy, they were not covering their goods. Everybody has pre-packaged the rubbish of the last how many days in nylon, and everybody was throwing it. Why? Because the heavy rain. The rain is carrying it, whether up the slope, down the slope, along the wind, and I mentally stopped in my track. That defines us. I'm comfortable in my immediate environment at the expense of everybody else. That's our religion. And so all that rubbish goes down to where? It goes down to where? It gets washed into our ecosystem. So we start eating fish that has microplastic. So we have a baby who gets ovarian cancer at the age of 21. 30 years after I threw that into rainwater. What about flooding? What about the diarrhea? We have seen people would have diarrhea that will kill them. We're not seeing that after Ransom Kuti. It's coming again. You are seeing people that have to use hundreds of thousands to treat diarrhea. We need to infiltrate the minds of our children about what is wrong. I'm an adult doctor, but I can't win without these children. I remember a day I'm driving, I'm taking my children to school. And we weren't going to school. We're coming from school. And it's a Thursday. And then my boy goes, Mommy, why is it that? It's like every Thursday. There's something about Thursday that they associated that day with. And he said, every Thursday, the roads are full of rubbish. There's always a lot of rubbish by the roadside. Why is that? And I said, because it's Environmental Sanitation Day. And the car went quiet. That is Nigeria for you. Sometimes the senior person is talking nonsense. How can the day that is the dirtiest in a child's observation be Environmental Sanitation Day? Am I speaking to anybody? Please. We need to talk to ourselves. So I now realize their confusion, that I hadn't made sense. And they are polite children, so they didn't tell me, Mommy, you are talking nonsense. That silence that a child will give you. So I said, well, actually, That's the day people dig out the dirt in the gutters and they put it on the side. And somebody is supposed to come around and pack it. And then they go and throw it in the central rubbish dump of the town. Shebi, you think I've explained the explanation. And they go, oh, like that very smelly place when you are entering Lagos. So I've tried my best. And I've got to the point where I can't do it alone. The HIV/AIDS is still with us. It's another story. I have found it a bit difficult to look at HIV with the stigma that people look at HIV. Because when you see a lot of the people who have HIV, they are victims. Whether victims of ignorance or victims of poverty or victims of who they've rolled with or victims of the system. So everything has a story. And I remember, when we're younger, when they say HIV, it's the bad girls that get it. HIV, it's not unexpected. She has been going around. And I keep, even from then, at that time in UCH, there was no medication for HIV, but we're having them on admission. And some in my unit, my Oga decided that he wants to be the person that will be gathering all the HIV. I need drug for our people here. Leave them for the other. No, you must take care of them. And so we learned to take care of them. At that time, it didn't seem easy, but I thank God that I had that exposure because it humbles you and it prepares you, tells you that life can happen to anybody. The best of people I saw get HIV. And our very community-minded country cannot take care of its HIV patients. So we have a very big political rush to Americans to collect free money to take care of HIV. I was not a worker then, I was a student then. I've been an administrator, I've opened my own things, I've done so much. We're still collecting money from the US of A to treat our own HIV patient. Remember that 250 million of us, you can't beat the wig and the car and the gold that we wear and the property that we own. And we can't take care of our most vulnerable. I've come for them this morning. Sometimes they give money and the money is stolen. And then we ask ourselves why. I spoke with a friend and he said, it's stolen money. What was my question? He said, how can people have so much money? Money billion, his life is not useful. He doesn't sleep well. He needs doctor to sleep. If you give me billion, I will sleep well. And he said, you can't sleep well with that type of money. Money carries, it's not my field though, but it's my field. Money is a spirit. It can cost generations. Don't do it. HIV money, put it for HIV, please. It carries something, And then, the areas that may be more familiar with me: heart disease, heart attacks, high blood pressure, stroke, kidney disease, heart defects. We have a lot of those in our environment. Meningitis, tuberculosis, we still have. Tuberculosis, again, we depend on free money. We depend on free money to treat. Mommy, it's such a wonderful country. The funny thing with this country? Throw beans. It will grow without assistance. Pepper, tomato. My mom will wash pepper, tomato, live in my own house. Because I'm too busy to wash pepper, tomato. She'll wash it, she'll just pour the water. And in like 6 months, I've almost traded tomato in Abeokuta. Just by the side of the house, and thousands of naira worth of tomato that my customers started saying, I could not tell them, And the customer tells me, Madam, I want to go and buy market at Erua. Please give me money. I said, God, since you gave me free, I will give this woman money. And I gave the woman money. Please, pour pepper in your compound. Let the children know that pepper grows. You know, these days of CCTV, is it DSTV? Children don't know that groundnut grows. Factory low manufacture peanuts. So, we have all that burden. And then we have road traffic accidents and we have drug abuse joining that as well. So we are all culpable. We are all guilty of many of these things. It's a communal contribution. And so we need to remind ourselves. I'll try to move faster. So what can you do? Lifestyle is one of the strongest things that we can look at. Lifestyle modification is a powerful tool for managing the causes of death, managing the causes of heart disease, particularly, and a life course approach. So from childhood up till the end of life. Capri-Sun, Indomie, very convenient for nursery and primary school. I will talk about whether it is part of our problem. Salt. Let's start from salt. Very delicious with food. Not delicious on its own. When you eat it with food, it enters your digestion and then it separates from the food and it stands on its own. So whether you put salt alone on your tummy, on your tongue, or you take salt into your body, when it's on its own, nothing delicious about it. So the rule is take less salt. Boil your rice, make your sauce moderately seasoned, moderately salted. Try not to put salt in your boiled rice. Try not to put salt in your boiled yam. Salt pumps our blood pressure up. Try to look for where there is insensible salt. If you are someone who takes a lot of bread or who bakes, you know that baking, the thing that balances sugar is what? Is salt. So if you love puff puff, it's because they put salt inside. It's not the sugar. It's not the onion smell or the oil, no. It's the salt. If you love bread, the bread you like is the salted bread. That bread you don't like, that doesn't sell, is the salt-free bread. It's not sugar. So we've learned the taste for salt, which is a learned taste. Because babies don't send whether there is salt or no salt. They will drink their breast milk as it comes. But if you get used to salt, you can also unlearn the craving for salt. I'm not telling you what I don't do. So boil your white rice. Don't put salt. Try it and see. 2 weeks, you get a little used to it. 2 months, it will become like normal. Everybody has their stress. So if I do my night duty as I'm doing my night duty, I'll get a stroke. If I'm going to do my clinics, I'll get a stroke. So I must be doing something to reduce that risk. Don't wait for when there is already catastrophe. Or if before has started, then you now start looking for how to treat. Treat it before it starts. So my laptop is timing me. Scroll to the end. Because I must get to that number 2. So I hope they are beaming what I'm showing now, because I want our grandmas and our mommies. Daddies, please be cooking at home. Oh, damn me alone. If not, we can kill you with salt. Better show us that you can do it better than us. Be cooking at home. Somehow my system is, I want them to show the page that looks like Pringles. Can you see? Are they beaming it? There's something that looks like Pringles. I didn't call anybody's product. But usually when we get to the airport, we buy it for our children and everybody. And if you take 4 of the average industrial potato chips, it already has like 6% of the total daily recommended salt dose. You know that thing is as if you are chewing air. So the way to enjoy it is to pack it quickly and be chewing plenty. So 6%, 12%, 18%. Yes. Pringles. Tell me that when you now reach home, you won't eat food that day. I don't know if you get me. So the whole container can supply so much salt. I didn't call the name, please. Potato chip snack. I don't want to be sued. You know. So that's a lot of salt. I'm having a problem with my system. So if they can beam at that end, it will help me. So I want us to look at the one for bread. The delicious bread. One slice would give you about 4 to 8% for the delicious bread. You know that bread that when you eat it's as if milk is echoing in your brain, but there's no milk in it. It's the interaction between sugar, yeast, and salt. No milk, butter bread, no butter. So I'm looking for noodles. So one that I saw, I snapped it with my camera, 86%. In the seasoning, if you use the full seasoning, that is one. Some of the common ones, about 50%, 48%, 53% of the daily sodium recommendation. So that's for not hungry size. That's the noodles they made when I was in boarding house, the beginning of noodles. Me alone, I can take 3 on a bad day. Me, paroma. So that's what? About 100% plus, you know. And that's not the beginning. So, imagine what suya would have. My time is up. Oil for you. So, imagine, let's talk of alcohol in the 5 minutes left. You know, imagine suya with red wine. The preservative in red wine and in most of our alcohols contains some cobalt or some other preservatives that for Africans, most of whom are Nigerians or Nigerian derived, is directly toxic to our heart muscle. Not even the alcohol, the preservative. Then the alcohol itself is directly absorbed and can do all manners of disruption in the heart. So I'm not telling you to drink or not to drink. I'm just telling you the possibilities. And then we can select. The WHO is saying we should no longer drink. Pay 0%. We said, well, that sounds good. But you can't do it alone. It has to be a community thing. Because a lot of the social gatherings that we have, sometimes it's disrespect not to drink. So we've got to support the people who are there too. That they should understand that we understand that they must not if they choose not to. Sometimes it is respect. So you've got a good professor, you scored a first class, what do you buy? You said wine. Say wine, fruit juice, or wine. So, red wine is not good for our heart. Red wine is good for your heart was done for some small subset of French people for a specific sort of wine taken with their lunch at lunchtime culturally. Not pelebe. Not the 75 cl. Not the I can't share. In moderation, small glass, little sip. Mediterranean, French area. And scientific evidence is not based on small population study anywhere in the world. It's on sustained large population, peer-reviewed, time-tested, checking. What I have seen with my own eye. I can do a scan and I just ask the person, see your heart, and I'm like, Reverend, you drink, Abi. Sorry that I mentioned. I'm just trying to give you that even when somebody says I don't drink, the signs can be there. It's even doubly painful when you see, a grandmother, grandfather sort who is otherwise very balanced. And so you don't take anything, no monkey tail, no shisha, no this, no that, you don't take. But you are seeing the electric finding of those things. And you just go ahead and you run the test and you do the treatment and the person survives, the person goes. And then you now become a psychologist respectfully later. Yeah. The third presentation I wanted to do was actually on drug abuse and how it is. It's a spiritual, if you ask me, thing. And spiritual things can happen anywhere and anybody. But we won't go there today. Now, they say there is antioxidant in some of the red wine, and that's good for our heart and all that. There is antioxidant in ewedu. Have you finished eating ewedu? You don't like ewedu antioxidant. It's even more than the one in the red wine. Okra, beans. You don't like that one. So those are more available. They are better. How much wine do you want to drink before you get enough antioxidants? Ugu, abacha, and African salad. All our antioxidants is there. So let's go for those ones. Do I need to talk about tobacco? Do I need to talk about the fact that it can cause finger cancer, toe cancer, sole of the foot cancer, skin cancer, eye cancer, tummy cancer in different parts? That it can starve our lungs of oxygen. When we stopped, when we were 25, and we are now 75, we can have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease that will damage the right side of the heart. Do we need to talk about that? We don't need to talk of lung cancer. We already know that one. Do we need to talk about the fact that smoking, tobacco, can tighten our arteries, can make our arteries, when they should relax and give us energy, to do the reverse because of endothelial dysfunction? Do we need to talk about that? We don't need to talk about that. Medications, painkillers, they are a big issue. So pain is a problem. I tell women, don't wear heels if you don't want pain later. So you wear heels, you have arthritis. Yes, I feel you. That feel-good effect. Heels, they do something. But the more you wear them, the more you pay later. And when you now need to use the pain medications, steroids and non-steroidal painkillers tend to raise our blood pressure and increase the risk of high blood pressure and other kidney problems as well. So let's carry the family along in everything that we do. Let's bring the children here next time, because they are the ones who remind us. We always forget everything. Don't wear heels. You wear heels. If you came with your children, you won't wear heels. I'm not saying don't wear heels. It's a health advice. But what I'm saying is protect your body so that you don't have need for medication. All right. Let's see if I can cheat. Because I don't know why I don't want to. Just cheating for DaySpring, I don't know why. Okay. Let me see. I'll show you a few pictures. I think that will do it. I'm not going to tell you what high blood pressure is defined as, because I know they already told you. But try to keep your BP below 130/80 if you're an adult. So the city set upon a hill cannot be hidden. If they say BP 140/90 and above, don't be okay at just below 140/90. Go to the optimal. Below 130/80. Be better. All right. I have some ECGs here. I don't know if it is possible for them to beam those ones. They are like electrical heart tests that can be done. I think you should give yourselves a round of applause if you were able to do health screening for free, even for 10 people. You don't know how much it costs to. I'll do a breakdown slide next time, if I'm coming anytime. So you will see. You can do an ECG and know that someone's heart has been under the burden of high blood pressure or diabetes or other exposures for years. And sometimes I wonder, how did God make science that you will just do something like juju and you can tell what happened 10, 15, 20 years ago? We are very terribly made, you know. So let our young people use that brain to do more things, because we've not even finished the things that can be invented to save us. I don't know if they are beaming. I can't see you following me. What a heart attack. Beautiful. So this one you are seeing now is an ECG. And that place that is labeled lead 1 has a spike that is more than 11 millimeters. Every big box is 5 millimeters. Every tiny box, each big box has 5 tiny boxes. So when it's more than 11 tiny boxes, that spike is more than 11 tiny boxes. On the one labeled number 1, that person is most likely to have had high blood pressure for over 10 years. So do your ECG. It will be easily interpreted. Move to the slide 41. If you move to slide 41, we'll see what a blockage in an artery can, look like. Okay. So it's like that's it. An artery gets blocked. The whole channel that it is, or the area it is supplying, becomes that deep pink, dead tissue appearance. That's what's called a heart attack. That's what's called a heart attack. Go to slide 46. No, go to slide 46. We'll talk of all the ones we are jumping another day. So when the heart is pumping against high pressure, after a while the muscle gets stretched and tired. So normal is labeled, it looks well packed together, while the heart failure looks very stretchy, and a lot of the times it just stretches and then goes to sleep and the person is gone. All right, we can go to slide 76. Thank you. Beautiful. Alcohol can do this. So someone can come in and say, oh, I've never drank, and the BP is normal, everything is normal. Alcohol is a common cause of this. You may not drink at all, but at Christmas, you go to a very respected house, so respected person's house. I'm not looking at your paper. And they give you the one that has milk in it. I keep forgetting the name. It's really whiskey, but they add milk. It's very delicious. Baileys, 40-something%. So beer is maybe 5.5%, 6.5%, and then Baileys is about 40-something%. And I'm a lady, so they will now give me Baileys. And you don't drink, you now just take just that one. There's such a thing as a holiday heart syndrome. During the holidays is when things like that happen. Christmas, they give you that drink. You take the drink, and it goes directly to the heart generator, the SA node, and it just sets it off. So there are people who have had just that odd drink, and they go into this, and it can be very fatal. Sometimes people survive this and have a stroke. So go to the next one. Similar thing. Many things can cause this. Cocaine can cause this. Amphetamine, methamphetamine. It's in our compound, though. It's in our community. These hard drugs I'm talking about. The young people usually tell me the name. I don't usually even remember the street name. I remember the scientific name. So it's with us. So we should open that discussion. And we should thank our young people who are not doing it. So we don't even appreciate what these people are going through. Sometimes I ask myself, if I was born in this generation coming, will I be okay? Easy. So please give them a round of applause when you see them. They are doing well. The next slide is another ECG. By this time, you are counseling the family as well. You know, the beauty of it is that we have so many survivors of this in this ordinary Abeokuta. So many survivors. Where we don't have the support, we don't have so much, we have been able to treat so many people who have survived. You don't hear the good news, you only hear the bad news. Because sometimes people take these records to the US and they tell them it's a lie. We must put you through PET scan and coronary angio and everything. They take a few $1,000s out of pocket and they put you through and they said, you know what? You are now fine. So you have hospitals where you're coming from. So there are good things coming out of Nigeria after all. Hallelujah. So I said, in other news, this is in closing. Please, if the face, you wake up or you see someone who wakes up, the face looks odd, somehow not balanced, and the hand is weak, leg is weak, or the speech is not coming out the way it come out, you want to say something, you say another thing, or you can't say anything at all, please go to the hospital. Some people have had strokes and they don't come until 5 days. If you go within the first few hours, it can be reversed. If it can be reversed, it can be limited so that it still remains functional. But by the time it has spent 24 hours or more, very often there's a lot of damage that you cannot reverse. So with these few words of mine, I'm quite upset that I've not been able to open my third presentation. I hope I have imparted something that you can take away and live better. God bless you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Church, can you celebrate yourself? Come on. So DaySpring Chapel, every May we celebrate families in this church, and we use the opportunity to talk about issues of marriage, relationship, health, and finances in homes. So today we are going to be talking about what it takes to build an excellent family. Many of us here are married, and there are so many of us, of course, that are still coming to marry in the few years to come. So this morning, with my darling wife, Busola Fabusoro, we have the privilege to host our pastors. And I will tell you a little bit more about them, but let me first of all bring them up stage. My own pastor, Pastor Tunde and Mrs. Adeshola Amushon. Please, is that all you can do for them? Is that all you can do? Can you celebrate them? Celebrate them. You're welcome. Pastor Dr. Tunde Amushon is my pastor. When I say he's my pastor, I mean we grew, the two of us grew under their leadership, their tutelage. And we've actually enjoyed a lot of grace under them. You are not celebrating the pastor of your pastor. You don't know your pastor also as a pastor. When I'm talking of a father, I'm talking of Apostle Achudume. But when I'm talking about my pastor, this is my pastor. When issues arises in this church and I need counsel, this is where I go. These are the people I go to talk to ask questions. And I can remember, should I say it? They are the one that taught us how to have sex. That's to tell you how deep they pastor us. Because they saw that the two of us are novice, and they said, we need to teach these children. Come. Then they put us in a room and started teaching us the practical. And they said, this is how you do it. And I remember Pastor taught me that if you want to have a child quickly, this is how you do it. Praise the Lord. Can you celebrate my pastor? And so don't underestimate the two of them. They are loaded. So my pastor, sir, you're welcome. Mommy, you're welcome. So we would like the church, even though we know you, but we want them to know you more and more. Your name, your vocation. We know you are full-time pastors, but you also do so many other things. So and how many years you've been in marriage and ministry? Who is going to introduce the two of you?
Good morning, George. Good morning, George. Thank you, Pastor, for this privilege. And thank you, our doctor, for that lectures. We are really blessed. Thank you. Now, when we received this invitation, I said, it's like Prof is going to put us into a kind of problem. In the sense that when it comes to dates, my husband doesn't know anything about date. So that there will not be conflict. I was asking him that, when did we get married? He said, you are the one that will answer that. So I will do the little that I can do. My name is Mrs. Olushola Amushon. I'm a teacher, a school principal. And by November 9th this year, our wedding will be 30 years. We have been in ministry even before we got married. We were in the ministry the moment the church starts. So we've been in the ministry since the church started. Thank you.
You didn't introduce him.
Okay, ma. Myself, my name is Tunde Amushon. I pastor. I'm a teacher. I'm also a farmer.
Pastor is a lecturer at the Federal College of Agric. Animal Health, Ibadan. So can you celebrate Pastor? And Pastor has a PhD. So it's not just, so you can imagine. All right, Pastor. I don't know. So once I ask the question, you can pass it to whoever should answer.
I answer the one I can answer.
We want you to share your experience, how you met. And I know before I met you, you have met. And how you know you were meant for each other. So how did you meet, sir? And how do you know that this is the person?
Actually, she's been my friend before for long. We went to the same primary school together. So
did you hear that? Primary school mate, where are you?
We went to the same primary school, but different. We were in Baptist, different branches, and so we used to meet at Baptist conference and the stuff. So she happens to be a friend. How we met, I don't know. I'm not sure whether I can still remember so many things. So, but there, maybe you can help me. But she's my friend.
Just like you said, we attended the same primary school, even though relationship did not start then. No. We went to different secondary schools, but fortunately, we met again. We were in Baptist, and we became friends. And along the line, we discovered that we were in love. Like,
Mommy,
like
you are in Gen Z church, so anything you say, they will say,
No problem. Now, I don't deceive myself to go and pray that God should choose for me. Because, there are different ways by God, the way God relates with us. Because I was already in love. So what I was praying for then was that if it is not the will of God, then it will not stand. Because for me to now be praying that, if somebody is a stranger to you now and is coming to you to come and propose, then you can say, okay, let me go and seek God. But that time, so all I was just praying for is that if it is not God, then it should not stand. And I've seen cases like that something will just happen and the thing will not stand. So, and I have this inner peace within me that it's a friend that has been, in fact, our friendship lasted for almost 8 years. Because
before love entered, or with the love?
Now, I think it was in my teen. I was, I have this family background that I started reading about marriage ever since I was in secondary school. Because I know where I'm coming from. So I want a situation whereby I want peace in my home. So the relationship, our courtship lasted for almost 8 years.
Wow. So, Mommy, what you are saying is that you were friends, and then you fell in love. So there was no need to pray. The two of you. So there was no need to pray if it is the will of God. Now you are praying, if it is not, then let it not stand. So, and what you are telling us is that if the person coming is a stranger, then you can be praying that maybe it is the way. But once you already know the person, you've been friends, then the prayer should be, Lord, if it is your will, let it stand. But the question is, Pastor didn't propose me. Abi, from friendship straight to love, then to marriage.
No, it's not.
Pastor didn't say, how are you, baby?
Of course, I proposed, but it's not like the proposal that we have these days.
You didn't kneel down.
How can I kneel down? I don't know. How can I? In our age, that thing doesn't. It's now that it's so strange when you see people kneeling down. I say, what are they doing? There are times I tell people, I say, me, I'm old school. There are some things that you do now that it's not as if I didn't propose, I proposed. But before I even proposed, let me say that it has become clear